So let's start off by talking about Kenya. So let's hop on that flight. So Kenya is back in the news again because a couple days ago, let's say maybe about a week ago, some news broke out that the president or the government of Kenya allowed Bill Gates and Melinda for their foundation to receive immunity. So for people who do not know what immunity means in this context, it basically means to not be held responsible or liable for, let's just say, certain types of deaths that may happen or certain types of crimes that would occur during some type of whether experiment or organization or occupation, right? You may have heard the word immunity be referenced in President Donald Trump. He has been talking about how he wants to give police officers immunity, specifically police officers that have killed people, even if it's unjustly, even if there is no reason for it. Donald Trump has made those type of statements. And so similar in this context, Bill Gates and Melinda Foundation have been doing different types of work in Kenya, specifically with their GMOs, specifically with vaccines. And if you have watched my video where I talk about the digital ID cards that Kenya's government is trying to implement, which, let me be clear, not digital as in on your phone, digital as in injected into your body. Kenya and Bill Gates are trying to establish this injectable digital identification card into the country of Kenya as early as next year. And so it was reported that the foundation was given immunity. Well, as of late November, I see now there are reports from Kenya High Courts who have now suspended that immunity. And there is also, it looks like the East African Court is now suing Kenya's government or the president or whomever made that immunity bill for the foundation. They are now suing Kenya for giving out illegal immunity. So it's really interesting to see that happen. But what I'm really interested in is how quickly that happened. It happened before the foundation got a chance to actually set foot on, well, let me not make that statement because I don't know. Maybe they have been there. I'm pretty sure that the foundation has already been all up and through Kenya, especially since the 90s or early 2000s. But I don't know if they had started their experimenting, if they have started any lab work or anything like that. But I'm really shocked at how fast the Kenyan government, as well as the East African courts in Tanzania, stepped in, and how quickly lawyers in Kenya also put out petitions and put out videos and things like that, obviously they were against something like this. It's interesting because, with this conversation with Bill Gates, you would think in 2022, as I said in my last video, that we would have all the information in the world of why African presidents should not be working with Bill Gates. But you see one day this African president is denying or declining any type of work with the foundation. And then the next day, literally, you see another African president shaking hands with them. So it really does show that there is a lack of camaraderie amongst the African president sector. There's a lack of agreements. There's a lack of Pan-Africanism. There's a lack of making pacts with each other and going against these colonial governments and leaders that are still trying to come in and take the natural resources of these African countries. So, speaking of natural resources and speaking of African countries who are denying the colonial leaders, let's